Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to create this lightning effect in Adobe After Effects to use in your Photoshop projects. And before we get started, please subscribe to my channel for more quick tips and tutorials. And let's jump right in and get started. So I have Adobe After Effects open and I'm going to start by creating a new composition. So I'm just going to click on New Composition. And I'm just going to make this a 1000 by 1000 comp, and I'm just going to name this Lightning. And now I'm just going to change the duration to 2 frames, so when we export this out, it's going to create 2 images. So you can change it to 1 or 2, depending on how many images you want. So now what we're going to do is create a new layer. So just go to Layer, New, Solid. And I'm just going to rename this Lightning. And then over here under Effects and Presets, we're going to search for Advanced Lightning. And we're just going to drag that into our layer that we just created. So as you can see, the lightning strike pops up, and we're going to keep the background transparent since we're going to be exporting this as a PNG file. So as you can see on the left-hand side, we have all of our lightning settings. I am going to be choosing strike, but there is also breaking. There's a couple other options as well. But for this lightning strike, I'm going to be using the lightning type strike. So now as you can see, when I move the 2 points, you can place the lightning strike in the spot that you want by moving the 2 points. And then over here on the left-hand side, we have a couple options to choose from as far as settings. So for example, turbulence specifies the amount of turbulence in the lightning path. So higher values are going to result in more complex strike containing more branches and forks. So as you can see, if I bring it up to 5, it's going to have more forking. And then also forking specifies what percentage of a branch is forked. So turbulence and alpha obstacle settings influence forking. And then just decay specifies the amount of continuous decay of the lightning strength, and it also influences where the opacity of the forks begin to fade. And then we're going to come under glow settings, which is basically just whatever color that you want your lightning strike to be. So you can kind of play around with the settings to see what color you want. You can create a really cool effect with that. And also under glow settings, you can change the glow radius and glow opacity. It just depends on how intense you want your glow to be. So I am going to bring the glow radius down to 30. Now I'm going to duplicate my lightning strike by pressing Command D or Control D. And now I'm just going to rename this Lightning 2. So by duplicating it, it's going to have all of the same settings as my first lightning strike. And now I'm going to select the Advanced Lightning option, and now I'm going to, using the 2 points, move my second lightning strike to the position that I want. So once I've placed it in the position that I want, I'm going to come over here to the left-hand side to the settings, and I'm just going to change the second lightning strike color. And I'm actually going to be duplicating this lightning strike 2 more times, so I'm just simply pressing Command D or Control D, Command D for Mac, and I'm just going to place these lightning strikes in the position that I want. And it really depends on what look you're going for. Like, you can just do 1 lightning strike and per PNG file if you want to create a really cool effect in Photoshop. So each time I duplicate the lightning strike, I'm just going back to the advanced lightning settings under that layer, and I'm just changing some of these settings so that each lightning strike has a unique look. So once you've created your lightning strikes and you have them in the place that you want, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be exporting using Adobe Media Coder, and we're going to be exporting this as a PNG file so that we can import it into Adobe Photoshop. So to do this, we just need to go to File, Export, Add to Adobe Media Encoder. So I'm just going to come up here to File, and I'm going to go to Export and just Add to Adobe Media Encoder. And once that pops up, we're going to change it to a PNG file, because PNG files you can export with a transparent background. and I'm just going to hit play. And for this one, I created 2 frames when I did the composition setting, so it's going to create 2 images. So once that's complete, we're going to jump right into Adobe Photoshop. So now we are in Adobe Photoshop. And I just have this image file opened up in Adobe Photoshop. You can use whatever image you want to place your lightning strikes in. So I'm simply just going to drag in the lightning strikes that we just exported from Adobe After Effects into my Photoshop composition. And I'm going to hit the check mark to place it. And now here on the bottom right, I'm going to add a layer mask to my lightning strike. And with that selected, making sure that my foreground color is black, I'm going to select the paintbrush tool. And I'm going to use a soft round pressure opacity brush. And I'm going to bring the opacity up to 100%. And I'm just going to paint out those areas that kind of overlap. And I'm actually going to just take this lightning strike out on the right hand side. And again, in After Effects, you can do individual lightning strikes, and that will help you help you with the placement of your lightning strikes in Photoshop. So now I'm going to duplicate my layer by pressing Command or Control J to create a copy of the lightning strike. And then with the selection tool, I'm going to hit Command T and then Control right click and select Flip Vertical. And I'm just going to create a minor little reflection. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. I'm just showing you a quick way to do this. So I'm just going to place this and hit the check mark. And I'm going to come over here to my blend settings and select screen. And I'm going to bring the opacity way down. And I'm going to go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and I'm just going to bring up the blur amount quite a bit. So I'm going to set the blur radius around 50, but you can play around with the settings to get the effect that you want. And I'm just scaling it down to place it again. And I'm going to bring the opacity down even more. So I'm going to bring it all the way down here. So once I'm done adjusting the opacity, this look is complete. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more quick tips and tutorials.